Hey everyone, welcome back to FactPros. Today, we're talking about one of the most famous and tragic shipwrecks in history, the Titanic. You probably know about the iceberg, the luxury, and maybe even the love story from the movie. But there's so much more to the Titanic's tale that will truly surprise you. From hidden design flaws to unbelievable artifacts found on the ocean floor, these are the unbelievable facts about the Titanic that you never knew. So, let's dive in. Let's start with the myth that Titanic was unsinkable. This reputation wasn't just bad luck, it was marketing hype by the White Star Line. But here's the kicker, the ship was only designed to stay afloat with up to 4 flooded compartments. The collision with the iceberg compromised 5, sealing its fate. And speaking of safety, the lifeboats are another shocking part of the story. The Titanic carried only 20 lifeboats, enough for just half the people on board. Even more shocking, many lifeboats were launched only half full. In one case, a lifeboat with a capacity of 65 people was launched with just 12. This poor evacuation planning cost hundreds of lives. Here's something you probably didn't know. The Titanic's rivets, which held the massive iron plates together, were weaker than they should have been. Investigations revealed that cheaper iron rivets were used in some parts of the ship, especially on sections of the hull. When the iceberg struck, these weaker rivets popped off, causing the hull to peel open like a zipper. Talk about cutting corners. The Titanic was lost for over 70 years until it was finally discovered in 1985 by Dr. Robert Ballard and his team. Today, it's more than just a shipwreck. It's a deep-sea laboratory. ROVs, remotely operated vehicles, have captured stunning footage of everything from Captain Smith's bathtub to the rusticles, those rusty icicles made of bacteria slowly eating away at the metal. These rusticles provide valuable data on how metal structures degrade in deep-sea conditions, helping scientists understand the wreck's ongoing deterioration. After the disaster, survivors and victims' families didn't just grieve, they fought legal battles against the White Star Line. Under the limited liability laws of the time, claims were capped at a shockingly low amount. The White Star Line argued that the sinking was an inevitable accident and initially sought to pay only $91,805 in total compensation. Imagine losing loved ones and being told that was all their lives were worth. Families had to prove negligence and break these limits, leading to lengthy court battles. We often hear about the luxury of first class, but did you know the Titanic had amenities that were rare even for the elite? We're talking Turkish baths, a heated swimming pool, several libraries, and even a squash court. And it wasn't just the first class that enjoyed luxury. The ship had the best of everything for its time, making the tragedy even more heart-wrenching. The ship's rudder alone was the size of a 7-story building and weighed over 100 tons. One of the most significant legacies of the Titanic disaster was the impact it had on maritime safety regulations. The sinking led to the first International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, SOLAS, in 1914. This convention, still in force today, established crucial safety standards for lifeboats, continuous radio communication, and emergency drills, all to prevent another tragedy like the Titanic from happening again. It's incredible how much one ship changed the entire industry. Beyond the technical details, the Titanic is a story of human courage, loss, and survival. There were families torn apart, like the Asplund family, who lost 4 members, including a 5-year-old twin. There were heroes like the unsinkable Molly Brown, who took charge of her lifeboat, urging women to row and save more lives. These personal stories remind us that the Titanic wasn't just a ship. It was a floating city filled with dreams, ambitions, and heartbreak. Here's something truly mind-blowing. The Titanic was supposed to have a lifeboat drill on the very day it sank, April 14, 1912. However, for reasons still unknown, the drill was canceled by Captain Smith. This decision may have cost lives, as many passengers didn't know where their assigned lifeboats were, and the crew hadn't practiced the proper procedures. Imagine how different things could have been if they'd just gone through with it that morning. Talk about a missed opportunity. The Titanic wasn't alone. She had 2 sister ships, the Olympic and the Britannic, and they also faced their share of disasters. The Olympic collided with a British warship, and the Britannic hit a mine during World War I and sank even faster than the Titanic. Luckily, most of the Britannic's passengers survived thanks to better lifeboat drills and a more prepared crew. The combined fates of these 3 ships led to further safety reforms in the maritime industry. It's like the whole family was cursed. Here's a little known fact that's still debated among historians. A coal fire had been burning in one of the Titanic's bunkers since before it even set sail. While this wasn't uncommon at the time, it's believed that the fire weakened the steel hull, making it more susceptible to damage when it struck the iceberg. Some experts think that this fire might have sped up the sinking, contributing to the tragedy. Imagine knowing the ship you're boarding already has a fire burning below deck. That's a chilling thought. So, there you have it. More unbelievable facts about the Titanic that show there was so much more to this story than meets the eye. From lifeboat drills that never happened to burning coal fires and the cursed fate of its sister ships, the Titanic's story is filled with shocking details that continue to fascinate us. If you were surprised by these facts, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know which fact blew your mind the most in the comments. Stay tuned for more deep dives into the hidden corners of history. And until next time, keep exploring and stay curious. Like and subscribe to FactPros. Thank you.